Gary.
Hey there, everyone. Welcome to the show. We're here live, myself and Serena. How are you doing today, Serena?
I'm doing bloody awesome, thanks, mate, even though it's raining.
And beautiful here in Perth today. And we have the lovely Charmaine on with us today as well. Thanks so much for tuning in, Charmaine.
Hi, everyone from sunny South Africa. It's winter time, but hey, it's sunny where I am. Beautiful. Yeah.
Fantastic to hear. So Charmaine is one of Africa's most watched entrepreneurs, listed in Forbes 30 under 30 as a business achiever. She successfully transitioned from corporate to entrepreneurship, online business, and to become a global brand, as well as award-winning international speaker, branding specialist, and business growth consultant. She is known for her unique outlook and philosophy on life as an intuitive thinking teacher. So we really appreciate you being on today and taking the time as well, Charmaine.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
So am I. Yay!
And we are excited to have you on as well. As you can see, it always is when we've got Serena singing in the background. So
love Serena.
Yeah. So for those people that may not know like much about you at all, Charmaine, or might be just being introduced to you for the first time, can you give us a little bit of your background and what you're currently doing, what you're known for, all this type of stuff, how you serve your clients? That would be great.
Yeah. So I'll give you my background in phases, starting with the most recent one now. As you explained, I'm into business growth consulting, marketing, branding, which is I basically help people, small business entrepreneurs, speakers, coaches, property investors be seen for what it is that they do best. That's how I put it simply. I use media to achieve that. I use strategy to achieve that, positioning to achieve that, use what it is that they've already achieved themselves, right? So it's not always that somebody comes to me and they want something totally new built. That's a different case. But, you know, people have done really, really amazing things, but because maybe they're modest, they don't know how to put themselves out there without bragging, right? So that's what I help them do. I help them stand out with confidence, not bragging, but with confidence, right? And have people see what their true value is and buy that, because that's what matters at the end of the day, is that people buy into you, whether they are investing in you or they are partnering up with you or they are buying your service or product, right? People need to understand where the value is. So that's what I help people do. And help them enjoy it, because sometimes it's a painful process, but I like to put some fun in it and really get people's true essence in there, because it's easy to build an image. Anybody can do that, you know, put you on a magazine cover or put you on stage and make you look wonderful, dress you up. But the true essence, the true quality and value of what a brand is how people feel about you. So then that means you have to put yourself forward in an authentic way. And I think that's where people usually have challenges, is like presenting themselves in an authentic way, because there's a whole bunch of things that stop us from being that. Could be mindset, could be, you know, limiting beliefs, could be what society is going to say. I'm not good enough. I mean, I'm African, right? I'm female. I'm young. There's so many things that I could tell myself to stop me from doing the things that I do and working on an international level, but I don't. And that's what I help people do too. That's phase one. Should I go on to phase two or?
Sorry, hit us with it.
Keep going.
Let's go.
This is great.
So phase two is this. Oh, how I started it is I was in corporate. So I went into corporate when I was 20, and that was with the idea of being there just for 5 years to learn the ropes of, you know, how people work, how the world works. Prior to that, I started working when I was 13. So that was in my mom's small business. She was working from home, ran 2 businesses from home, worked full-time and studying part-time, single mom. And I was like, okay, I felt responsible in a way to just be part of the whole process, right? So then after that, I just always did something, always worked, always wanted to learn from people. And at the time I was getting coaching, but I didn't know that it was actually coaching then. I just thought I'm learning from all the people who are doing amazing things because I was curious about life, curious about business. And that helped me really, really, because it helped me learn how to understand people, how to communicate with people, which has been the essential skill, attitude, value even that I use throughout my career. Yeah. So that's what it is. And because my goal was preset, so going in at 20, knowing that I'm going to leave in 5 years, 25, I had a plan, and that was I'm going to retire when I'm 25, and then I'm going to go into business knowing a little bit more than what I did, because I needed that experience. And I had a great, really, really great training process, because I went in through the South African German Chamber of Commerce and Industry, which meant that they put us in a company at the time. It was an industrial engineering company, German, global too, but they throw you in there and then you have to work in each and every department, minimum of 3 months, under a coach and a mentor. So you learn everything about how the business operates by the time you are done in 2 years. And that also just set me up. Yeah.
I love that. That's amazing. So so you came from mainly like a corporate type background.
Yep.
You started your own business, things like that. That's amazing. I love that. That's great. And I love like the fact as well, like you've had quite some big achievements as well over the years. Obviously, you've been in Forbes magazine and several other different types of publications around what you've done. Correct?
Yeah. So that, just starting with Forbes, the 30 under 30 Forbes Africa, to just be specific, it came as a pleasant surprise. I didn't expect it. I applied, right, but not expecting to get it. And it's again, it's about the people who are in your life, because it came to me after a year of doing Her Grit magazine, which is one of my publications, and Edwina Delamore, she's in Belgium. So she started with me from day one, and she was one of the editors, and she kept saying, you know what, Charmaine, you need to apply for Forbes. I think you have really an amazing thing that you're doing. They will love you. And I thought, nah, come on. Again, that I think for me, it was a fear, right? And it was a limiting belief. We go through that. And I'm the first one to admit. And she said, go for it. And I didn't. The year that she said to 20, what is that? Where are we? 2020. So that was 2018. I didn't. And then last year I did. And I didn't even tell her. I just applied and I was going through the process, and I called her. I was like, hey, you know what? They might call you because I put you down as a reference. But I'm going through with it. I'll wait. And it took about 2 months to get those results back, because they do a thorough thing. They ask for your financials, everything, your story, and they verify, right? So when it came through, it was a validation that you are on the right path. And that's all I needed, because it's tough. Business is tough. It has cycles. You meet people, it works. Sometimes it doesn't work out. You try things, they don't work out. And it's not all just, I made that journey, launched, and it was all amazing and wonderful. Nope. It wasn't like that. Everything just came as a result of hard work. Yes. And doing the right things, sometimes by luck, most of the time. And also, definitely by coaching.
Okay, great. I love that. And I'm quite intrigued as well with your magazine as well. So it's called Her Grit and His Grit, right?
Yes, Her Grit. I'll tell you a story how Her Grit started. So I go to China, right? I'm invited to China. I go there. It's amazing. It's a documentary film. I'm inspiring hundreds of people, and I'm excited, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go back home. I'm going to tell every media publication that, hey, this is what I did. And I represented South Africa. I represented Africa. You guys put me out there already. And that wasn't the case. It was like, so who are you again? And I didn't know a thing about branding then. I didn't know that you had to have what's something called a media pack. I didn't know that you had to have previous positioning and everything. I just went into it completely blindly, but it crushed me, that, hey, I just did something totally amazing here totally unexpected, and you won't put me out there just because I'm not a celebrity. And I looked at it. So I'm the kind of person, I fix things. If it's broken, I want to fix it. And I thought, okay, well, there must be so many people like me out there, right? Who are just ordinary, who are doing great things, but just will not get that recognition. I was like, well, how do I best fix this? I cannot go and fight the entire media industry. So I'll just create something that is the size of the people who need it at the time. That's all I was thinking. They just need recognition. I'll create a platform for them to go on there. And it became a success because I reached out to people I reached out globally using Facebook, solely using Facebook, right? And the relationships that I had already, also after going to JT Fox events and building a network there, it all just worked out. The pieces came together, and it's her grit, because grit, right? Just that resilience, something that I have, because I can't explain it. Hey, it's just, I don't give up ever. And the people that I was attracting and writing stories about are the same. They've just been through so many things, but they just don't give up. And they're so positive at the end of the day. And I was like, oh yeah, this is what the world needs. Forget the gossip, because my stories weren't interesting enough for mainstream media. So this is what actually the world needs. People want to be inspired by people that they can relate to, that they know, and that they can actually see their lives in. That was the most beautiful thing about interviewing people and seeing the stories come through, that, you know, I can actually see a piece of myself in everything. And also the readers, that's what they say as well. I can see a piece of myself in the story, in that story. And that for me is worth everything.
Yeah, you know, that the word grit, it does have that. It's like grit, like you get your teeth into something and you don't let go. You know, it's like you said, never giving up. You know, grit. You've got grit and determination. Is it grit and determination? Is that the saying? But you know, you've got you can feel that when you say her grit. And I have to proudly say that I was interviewed by you as well, and I am in your magazine. And not being one that's, you know, very good at, you know, talking about oneself, I loved what you did. You know, you just, I looked at myself as if I was a stranger, like knowing who it was, but just seeing it in a completely different light. It was absolutely beautiful how you did it. So, and I've read some of the other ones as well. It's just amazing. So you just need to be really proud of yourself.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great, this is good. So now, like, let's dive a little bit deeper into things, because, like, I mean, this magazine has been like a big, from what I understand, has been a big part of your brand and the value that you provide to people and to businesses all around the world now as well. So this magazine, so I know you've got a massive email list, right? Like, we're talking what, 800,000 people on an email list, like
yeah.
800,000, like we're talking over three quarters of a million, right? Like, it's huge. It's good. It's awesome. I love it. And how have you done this? Like, I mean, it's taken, naturally, I could imagine, time to be able to build, to, you know, foster relationships, to market, and all these types of things. Like, can you break us down like a few steps you went through with relation to how you went about doing this? And for people that are viewing as well, obviously, we're not going to be talking about how, you know, you can do these steps and you can build an $800,000 person list tomorrow or anything like that. I'd just really like for us to basically just sort of break down today, like, how you went about doing it, this 800,000 person list of email addresses, etc., for your business, and, you know, what people could really take from this as well. I'm sure there'll be so much they can take from it, and be able to help them on their list building journey as well. So, like, how did you go about doing it? Can you, like, lay us out some steps that you went through in order to create this massive email list?
Yeah, so starting with the end in mind, I always start with the end in mind. My goal was simply to, again, it's a process. So I knew that at the end, I want to be able to present my products and services in a package and have just this community that I'm delivering it to. So these are people who are already attracted to me, right? These are people that I don't really have to market so hard to go and get. But then I thought, okay, in the traditional sense. What do people do? They create events, right? They have free events or paid events. People come through, and then that's how they build their list. But I didn't have that budget to start off with, nor did I want to be on the road having those events. So I thought, okay, what do I have as a skill, something that I can use at my disposal right now? A, that was building a website. I knew how to do that. And B was writing, and again, communicating. So use what you have. That's the first step. Have an end goal in mind. What are you working towards? Step 2 is, what do you have? So for me, those are the 3 things that I put into together. My creativity, right? Being able to communicate with people, and an actual skill, which is writing and website design. Those are the 3 things that I used. And then after that, step 3 is go and do it quickly. So create it, like JC speaks about that speed of implementation, do it as quickly as possible, the moment that you think of it. And even if you're scared, because I was really, are people going to accept it? What am I even doing? Is it going to like be legit? You have to like just do it regardless. So put the thing together and put the product out there. So what I did was I'm in different groups on Facebook. Again, I just used Facebook, guys, nothing else. Different groups in Facebook, reach out to people. Hey, this is what I have. You have to test as well. Do people want this or not? So that's what I did. I reached out, put up a post there, couple of groups. This is what I'm doing. Will you be interested in being featured? Of course, free, not charging people upfront. Again, because you have to build that credibility. People have to test and try your product first. So build that value. That's what I did, build the value. And then to my surprise, I quickly got people from different parts of the world. And I was just aiming for South Africa, right? But because of the internet, I got people from different parts of the world. And immediately that just put it on a different level, that, hey, here's this person. Oh, and then I used my relationships also locally, because I had a local celebrity on the cover for the first one. And again, you have to just like situational awareness is what they call it. Look and see, is this a celebrity? Okay, have they been in other covers before? No, she hadn't. Was this something that she was going to be interested in? Yes. You see, so when I approached her, I knew that I was most likely going to get a yes from her, and that worked. So again, relationship is the thing that worked there. Then the next step was be consistent, right? Because it was hard as it was articles monthly, and it was free. So free again, and free for the viewers, because people want to create maybe something online and then immediately have a subscription fee. People aren't going to subscribe if they don't know what the value is. And if they're not used to having it. So my goal was, I'll have it subscription fee for a year. You know, just short-term sacrifice for a long-term gain, because I knew that this again, I was using as a lead magnet, generating for relationships and upselling for my other products and services. So it was just that thing, create a sales funnel sort of, right? That's going to work. And then because it was free, people shared it. So people will share it on their pages. And then that is how I ended up generating emails and contacts from it. And some of them were not necessarily through a click funnel kind of thing where you put a landing page and then people click. No, yes, there are paid ads in there, but also I have people send, you have to get some value back. So if you're giving somebody something and they have a list, right? And then, so when they share your article with their email list, it comes back to you somehow, right? Just so it's a give and take thing. So, because normally also what happens is I see it even with people that I do one-on-one coaching with, when they've given something as a value for free, it's like they have not created a way for it to come back to them in value as well. So then you feel like you've lost out. So when you've created that free value offer, have a way that it's going to come back to you. It can either be somebody introducing you to somebody else, right? So maybe 1 or 2 people introduction, that works. Because at the end of the day, how I built it to become so many people is just by leveraging what I have. You have to grow it first, and then you can leverage and say, hey, this is what I have. Do you need it? you know, and it's like you build something that you can sell. Now you decide, are you selling it for money or are you selling it for value? See, value for value, or money. Sometimes money is not enough. And it's like short-term, it's a short-term benefit. So sacrifice the dollars for value, you see. Yeah, that's what I did basically, in a nutshell. I don't know if you want me to dive a little bit deeper into it.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about it, because like, I mean, like there's like the moving pieces and the steps involved around it. It's like you had to do enormous amounts of action, no doubt, posting groups and gathering people that would be interested in your service, right?
Yeah.
Offering something free where most people would normally charge a subscription fee for, or charge for the publications, etc. as well, right?
Yeah.
And then over and above that, you had that system where you'd reach out organically. Did you say you were using paid ads for it as well? Some?
Yes. Paid ads. Ads are so important, guys. And people don't want to spend on marketing. I don't understand why. Like, it's usually the last thing that they think about. Oh yeah, then I'm going to create this. I'm going to post it organically, and then I'm going to advertise. I'm going to pay for marketing after that. No, like, test your product quickly, and then the moment you get feedback, use that feedback to market pronto. You have to. And if people like what you're putting out there, let me just step back a little bit. How are you going to know that people like what you're putting out there? By putting as much of it out there as possible. So content create, just push it out there. But also, in order to reach masses, you have to pay advertising. So paid advertising. And sometimes, again, like I talk about the value thing, I wasn't paying for that advertising. So the person that I featured was paying for their own, like, marketing on their own pages, you see, because I didn't charge them. So I didn't charge you to be on here. You want your own audience to see what it is that you are valuable for. So of course they're going to market and show them how to do that, you see. So you have to add value, and then you have to educate people. That is how it comes back. Value, educate, and pay for marketing. So for South Africa, being in South Africa, it's cheaper too. It was cheaper for me to market locally, but if I'm maybe targeting an audience in the UK or the US or Australia, it's slightly more that you pay for a click. So the strategy that worked there was get the stories from there and market locally. So for people who are in the US, the UK, in those countries, it's cheaper for you to market into Africa. So there's valuable people here, but people don't realize that. They think, oh no, it's Africa. What am I going to get there? Hello, like, I'm here. There's many more like me here. And it's cheaper for you to market and advertise here. So you grow your fan base in a place that is cheaper for you, and then you bring it back home, because then you have more credibility and you have more value, probably even have more clients. And if you can offer something for free to a market that is a lot cheaper, then do that, because you're going to have testimonials, right? So you're going to have proof that this works. And then you're going to tell your clients that, hey, if it works for somebody in Africa, what do you think it's going to do for your business? You see? So it's just got to think outside the box.
Great. I love that. So like, so you mentioned some really powerful stuff there. I just wanted to pull up on as well. So you mentioned that you weren't charging people for the service. However, you'd found them through groups, you got paid marketing in place, and then you didn't charge them for the service, but then they were paying for ads themselves and they were promoting your service.
Okay. Yeah, right? Case by case. So it's not everybody that was on there for free. Yeah, disclaimer. No. We can't all be free, right? But so case by case. And again, remember, for me, magazine was step one of my sales funnel process. So you come in there to be featured, but then when I take a deeper look at the things that you have, I found out that there's a lot more that we can do together. So again, it's that end goal in mind. Why are you having that value added service or products? And it is something that also at the same time, while building, I'm making it big and valuable, so that by the time I maybe decide to sell it, I can sell it, right? So it's not just something that I'm keeping endlessly with no aim in there as well. So the first step always is, what are you aiming for? That end goal, that end goal. So yeah, for because I saw after looking that it's expensive for me to market in the US, in the UK, first world countries, it's expensive going out there. So how do I do that? Don't charge so much, right? For those people that are there, but they have also audiences, they have fan bases. So let them do their own marketing that side. Let them pay for their own clicks, and it comes back. Yeah.
And this is important. Like, it doesn't matter sort of what business anyone's doing, you can model a very similar process, right? It's just about having something valuable on the front end, something that people are basically dying to want to get access to.
Yeah.
And then from there, once that comes in, there's value added, there's credibility, there's a relationship, then offering other services to be able to assist further.
Absolutely. And nothing that you're going to be a slave to. Don't, like, because, for example, right, with Her Grit magazine, okay, his Grit magazine came in, I think, about almost a year after Her Grit. And my idea with that was, let me test, because I saw that males want to also have a voice, and I was seeing things terrible happening in the industry, media as well. Me Too movements, men are trash. Everything that is featuring a man is negative news. And I thought, no ways, this is not it. You know, we're raising boys, and not every man is terrible. So, and they also have really great spaces. But now what we're finding is, oh no, everything is like women empowerment, women this, women that. And I was like, okay, but what about the guys? So there's an imbalance already happening. And that was, again, test, see, is it going to work? Yes, it worked. Do one publication. And then I did another one after that. I know, okay, that system's going to work. But do I need to pump into it right away? No. And then for Her Grit magazine, we haven't published since October last year. And the idea with that was, okay, so we did the hard work. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to do it on a quarterly basis. 2020, that's the idea, do it quarterly. We're going to start end of March, but then Corona happened and we didn't want to be insensitive and just like start publicating things and we don't really know where the world is. But then again, I still get people, like I have people on the waiting list, like just ready to go in there. And new ones always still constantly asking, hey, when is this happening? When is the magazine coming back? What are we doing? You see, because they know that the value is there. So I don't mind making them wait. They can wait. It's like an artist, right? For example, Rihanna, she left the music industry and went into business, creating beautiful makeup and lingerie products, and became a mogul. It's like, yeah, well, my music artists, your fans, they can wait. You'll just, listen to my old music, right? Because the trust is already there, the relationship is already, and they already like what you've been putting out there. So that's a very important step that people miss. And I think it takes grit to do that. You have to be patient with the process and build that lasting longingness that people have for what it is that you offer. You see, and it has to be authentic. I think that's what has made this whole thing successful, is that it's authentic. It's real people, and people can feel that. You see, yeah.
Real people and real stories. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it. That's great. Because I think, when it comes to the whole model and everything, like, I think I wanted to also relate it a lot back to the audience as well. So, because we have ranges of different types of industries too. And it's like, you look at it and you go, okay, it's a magazine and it's, you're featuring people in this magazine and things like that. And maybe like a lot of service-based businesses probably couldn't really run a magazine. However, it's there's other things that they can do. So it's about, like, when you break down the strategy you've done, like you've used paid ads, you've used organic, and you've got referral systems in place where people share the magazine with their friends, their family, the people they know, their business associates, their lists. Some run marketing campaigns with it as well, right? So, you know, like you've got a full referral system there of how people are promoting it and how, you know, this is all then coming back to you as a result of the value that you've provided. And then from there, it's like you've had that thing that everyone's gone, wow, this is what I want to have access to. And then, you know, you've had that's the first step, and then it goes through your sales process and everything from the back end, you know, like your normal funnel, right? So any business who is watching this, they can do the same thing. It's just you got to put something valuable on the front end, something valuable that's for free, and then just model the process that we're speaking about today, which is around having paid marketing, using organic, and having a referral strategy, right? So, like,
yeah, it's so I think the key components of how to make it work, no matter what business you are in, is that value really has to have value in it. So a lot of times people create a product. I mean, I've tested, because I'm in the marketing industry, so I test a lot of other people's products for my clients, etc., because I want to know, okay, so what value truly is it valuable? So that's the thing. People need to experience value from your value product. So if you're putting something out there, you think it's valuable, how do you know? Does the feedback really say that it's valuable, you see? So, and also, like, teach people how to get value from your product or service, because sometimes they don't know how to. You know that it's valuable for them, but when they use it or they experience it or they taste it, teach them that when you feel this, when you see this, when you get that, now that is the result. So that's where the key is. People getting results quickly, whether it's quickly and if it's long term, give them something in between. So for example, with the property investing clients, when they want to get in an investor, maybe it's a property that's not really generating that much income upfront, and they have to teach somebody who's maybe used to investing into something and getting money back quickly, short term. So teach them now. You have to educate. Again, it's that patience thing. Educate them on the value, the different type of value that they're getting, for example, from ROI or capital growth. It's different as opposed to maybe trading and just, getting money back, you see. So educate people on where the value is. That's the key. It doesn't, and have a community. So your community, it could be, maybe if you have a team, your team is your community, your team's friends, your team's associates. That's a community. Anybody that you have access to, whoever they have access to, is your community. So spread out the thoughts. The thing is we think like this, that, okay, my funnel is going to be like this. Zzz. It's not like that. It's spread it out and know that this person will potentially, and that I got simply from looking at how Facebook operates and Facebook algorithms, and then apply it to your business, apply it to your world, you see. Yeah.
I wanted to add something in there. I just had Jared messaging me on Facebook as well too, so I got my little bit in to say, let me talk now. And because I don't want to be rude and cut over anybody, but sometimes I do. So there is, Cherry says hi on here as well too, and she's up actually late. It's 4 o'clock in the morning there for her. I don't know if she's still there watching, but she did ask a question, which I'll give you in a minute actually, because I just wanted to say this bit while we're talking about value before I get distracted away from it. The thing about the value as well too, and I look at it at my point of view, because I'm everybody's customer. I'm out there, I do training, I listen to podcasts, I listen to things like this, and slowly everything starts to get in your mind. You can't get every single thing from just one thing. Your brain is not most brains are not absorbed that way. They always say that you get 7 bits and pieces of information. So something goes in and goes out, it's gone. Something else comes in and stays and you remember it, so you don't get the whole lot. Value has different aspects to different people as well. So for example, you know, I look at, you know, what Jared and I do, and we have a program that people can go in and they've got everything there that teaches them and walks them through how to do anything to do with the marketing. And that's really great, and it's great value and it's there, but sometimes people are really busy or their brain's not absorbed enough to be able to say, oh my God, that's, you know, it's just out of my comfort zone or something like this. So their value perception may not be quite as big as somebody else because they can't take it on board like somebody else may be able to. So then you've got to create another value. We were talking about it, you know, well, look, not everybody can take that on and appreciate what it means or something. So then you've got to do like we did, a done for you. So those people, even though they can get that value there and they've got everything in a bucket on how to, no time, don't want to, brain's already overloaded with stuff. The next bucket is the value of the done for you. Well, don't worry about it, you know. As long as you know that that's there, if you don't want it, here's the next one and we'll do it for you. So all the steps of the value is making sure that you look at the total value for everybody to see that they're covered in every way. Because if somebody doesn't, even though you've got good value, but someone doesn't perceive it as a value, they'll walk away feeling that they didn't get a really good value. So that's even harder to look at, is like you said, the end goal in mind. What is the end goal in mind? What do you want them to achieve? Do you want them to do it themselves? But if they can't do it themselves, what's the next step? You know, that sort of thing. So I just wanted to say that, because I always look at things in, you know, in different lights, and I look at it a lot in the way I do it, because I do a lot of stuff online and I know the frustrations I get. And I've been through them with, you know, Jared over a long time as well, you know, and I'd go and ask him a question. Oh, shit, I can't get this. It's not working for me. And then by the time he'd answer me, I said, don't worry about it. I've worked it out now. But still, you know, it's easier just to have someone do it for you.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Cherry asks, your thoughts on Google lead gen ads or LinkedIn? I know she's been asking this the past few days around. I've seen it because I stalk Cherry everywhere she goes. And she really wants to get a lead in, I guess, on, you know, how, because she's setting herself up with a business and she wants to know all the best ways of promoting that business. So she's keen on Google ads and LinkedIn. What's your thought?
Test it. You won't know if it's going to work unless you've tested it. So have a test budget in place and say, okay, again, what is your end goal with the test? Are you trying to figure out if people are going to like your product or service? Are you trying to find a market? So are you going in there already having like a market segment, you know already who you're targeting, or do you want to know who is going to respond to your product or service and then target, you see? So LinkedIn is great. But again, who is her target market? Is it people who are in corporate? Are they working, right? LinkedIn is wonderful, but she will know if it's going to work by testing it. Same as Google Ads. You have to try it, and not once. Okay, so because when you're testing, you're either testing, is it the headline? Is it the colors? Is it the audience? Was it the picture? Was it the ad? Right? So that's why you have to have the test budget in place. And then after that, she can collect the data and then see, okay, this worked here, that didn't work there. But patience as well. Yeah.
I personally feel that I've got a bit of a thing with LinkedIn. They let me down quite a few years ago when I did some paid advertising through them, and they sent me everybody that I didn't ask for. And that sort of turned me against them a bit. We've done a little bit of advertising on LinkedIn just recently, and we got a lot of good stuff that we wanted, but then they still put people in front of me that didn't even know what they're being put in front of us for. And, you know, so I found there was a little bit of time wasted, you know, with that. So we stopped sort of chasing it. I think Jared actually believes that Facebook ads is probably the best of us. I don't know. I mean, I do know because I'm pretty sure I've heard you say it, but is that what you would say, Jared? Facebook?
Oh, look, all platforms are great advertising tools. Like LinkedIn, for LinkedIn paid ads, I believe you need a really high ticket product. So you need to be selling a product that's like sort of 10, 15 grand sort of thing. It's very limited to your copywriting options. It's very limited to what you can do and say and how you can articulate your ads when you're doing LinkedIn ads, for example. So I believe you do need a lot higher budgets as well to be really successful with LinkedIn paid ads. Google are great. Spent 25 grand a month at the finance brokerage we worked with as well years ago. And that just like massive amounts of ROI off ads and good leads coming through and things like that as well. Yet we do the same thing with Facebook and Instagram now as well, right? So like where Google ads was going back probably, 8-9 years ago, 10 years ago now is essentially very similar to where Facebook is now as well, right? You can get leads for just next to nothing. You can still do the same on Google as well. So it's like, it's really going like, we use a lot of Facebook and Instagram. Like we use a lot of that, just because like, I mean, we specialize in it. And also we get incredible results and return on investment from our marketing, right? So why not where you've tested things and you know what works and you know what doesn't work for your business and your field, then of course you're going to go and invest even more into it as well to get even more results. So I agree with what you've said, Charmaine, around you've got to really test things out and see which one is going to be the best for your business and what it is that you do. However, like you can model it a lot off people that already understand the industry and already understand how it works and client personas and where these people are and all this type of stuff. So I'm a firm believer in, use LinkedIn from an outreach perspective for relationships, building relationships, and from that, you will get some business through those relationships, new referral networks, new interviews for shows or whatever it is. You will get more business from it. But I don't think anything really beats as well Facebook and Instagram for me personally, because the strategy is like you select interests based on the types of person you're after. You target those people, you put an offer in front of them they can't resist, they take access to that. Then you can follow up by email, you can retarget, you can build custom audiences off the back end of it, right? So once you've got that data that Charmaine talks about, you can use that data and use it to find more people like those people. There's so much you can do, right? So I look at it as main budgets put towards Facebook and Instagram, and then expand on it through other aspects then. So why not use LinkedIn as well? It's great.
Don't forget YouTube's coming up quite big now with advertising.
Yeah.
Can I go back to something that Serena said? So junk, you kind of like, so when you get an audience that you didn't really ask for, whether it's from Facebook or anybody else, and normally what we do is we just classify them as like junk. We can't use them, they're not our buyers. Give something to them. Like everybody can be your client, right? And it's not always money that comes back, but they can generate something for you, which is what I did as well. Not everybody was my buying client, but their level of appreciation got me clients, you see. So maybe those are fans, but fans are also valuable if you use them the right way, right? Give them purpose. So that's why I always say, like, give an audience purpose. If you got somebody or a group and they really was not what you were looking for that particular thing, create something else. Like, give them a purpose and it comes back. It goes to waste. That's like my motto. Nothing goes to waste. So whether I ask for them or not, just like turn it around and make it work in your favor.
That's good. Yeah.
Love it. That's
that particular one was actually a job position though, so it probably might not have worked that way, but
yeah,
give you a job for free.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for tuning in, coming on board and giving us some valuable information as well today, Charmaine. We really appreciate you being on the show. For those people who may be vibing and loving you and want to find out a little bit more, maybe potentially even want to work with you, etc., how would they go about reaching out to you?
Okay, so you can reach me on Facebook. It's Charmaine N Mbatha, Mbatha, that's my surname, or Instagram, charmaine.mb, or my email. Yeah, I take emails, like I'm really not sure about it. It's Charmaine, Charmaine at nextstep.co.za. Next step with nxtstep.co.za. Yeah. So, and I love connecting with people, and thank you guys so much. Yeah.
You're most certainly welcome. You're most certainly welcome. So, guys, that's it for today's show. It was a wonderful episode, and there's been some real value bombs here in today's episode as well, which is fantastic. And we've got some killer up and coming interviews for you guys as well over the next week. We've got another interview with Amy Small on Wednesday, previous client of ours who's just absolutely gone through heights, next levels, and we're going to be talking finances on Wednesday. You know, finance options that are available for businesses right now. You know, how to present your business well to the banks in tough times, so you can still get credit and all this type of stuff as well. So we're going to be diving deeper into a lot of that, and even a lot of stuff that's available in and around this coronavirus stuff as well to businesses that a lot of people just don't realize that's available. So we're going to be talking about all of this on Wednesday and picking Amy's brain on all of this as well. So that's going to be a killer episode, and that'll be 12 o'clock Perth, Western Australia time, live on this page. So make sure that all of you are clicking follow below on this live stream, so you get notified every time everything goes live here as well, and you can see all the interviews. You get notified for every time we go live here on the page. And also make sure that you share this stream as well, because there's a lot of people that need this information, and you know, everywhere else on the internet they're putting in their name, email and contact number where they can just come here for free every single day, which is 12 o'clock Perth, Western Australia time, and they can gather this information as well. There's over 20 to, there's like well over 20 hours worth of content just over the last month that all of you can get access to there. It's probably getting closer to 30 now, I think, just over the last month to a month and a bit. So plenty of information around marketing, sales, strategies, automations, everything. So click follow on the page, go through, check out all the past content and everything. Share this stream specifically as well, because this one does need to be heard by more people. And thank you so much for jumping on, Charmaine. We appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you.
We know
It's great talking to you again, Charmaine. It's I'm really loving all this reconnecting with everyone. It's really cool because, you know, we've known each other, what, 3 or 4 years now? And sometimes it's sort of hard. You're so busy with your own stuff, but just what's happening now is great because we're just always live and out there and reading and meeting people and discussing, and everything's coming alive again.
Good.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
And thank you so much, everybody. We'll see you later.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.